Gobble, 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 gobble. It's Thanksgiving Day. Gobble, 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 gobble. As we sit down and pray. Gobble, 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 gobble. Eating turkey and dressing. Gobble, 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 gobble. And what a blessing. Gobble, 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 gobble.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special Thanksgiving edition of Talk About Rowdy right here on YouTube.
He's Mike Hogan. I'm Justin Carter. Thank you for coming back.
And this is part 4 for everyone out there who's
If you're
counting.
just now joining us, we talked about indies. We talked about Survivor Series. We talked about countdowns. We talked about WWE. We talked about TNA news. So now you're caught up. Global Force news. You're officially caught up now. So go back and watch the other 3 if you're just now joining us.
Now we're talking about NXT.
NXT, one of the greatest brands out there right now.
It is.
It is. It's doing great. Because Vince McMahon doesn't have his hand in it.
Oh, he has his hands in it.
Oh, he's making money off of it, but Triple H got his hands in it. Vince McMahon's only been down there once. He ain't wasting his time with them old, not old people. He loves the old people.
No, he
with the
doesn't.
new people, he ain't wasting his time with the new people. They ain't making him that much money yet.
Not yet. Ain't cost him much either.
They don't cost him that much, that's true.
So,
The Performance Center cost him quite a bit.
well, let's go with number 2. The last 2.
The last 2, probably the best 2.
Finn Balor.
Balor.
The terror of Monday night.
Monday Night Terror.
I can believe that. That, being the New Japan, which we talked about New Japan earlier, being Prince Devitt. He had his unique chilling demeanor.
He does
Something made all the more effective by the paint.
Yes, I love the body paint. I was looking up pictures of the body paint.
I know.
Venom, Spider-Man.
He might not be able to do that, but still.
He did Bane. He may not be able to do all those characters,
No.
but he can do some. Hey, if Rey Mysterio could do the Flash and do Avatar and do the Joker, why can't he?
That's true. Just tweak a little bit.
Exactly. His Bane character looked great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But see, they say he could paint himself up. He could ambush a few people, which would be doing. But he'd be all painted up and everything would freak people out.
It is a necessary edge, is what they were saying, to make him stand out on the crowded roster.
Appear in the ring after the arena is plunged into darkness.
There you go.
Kind of Undertaker-ish. So. And Bray Wyatt. Why not? I think it would work. I think he would work,
It says after the initial impact, he could gradually be allowed to reveal more of his icy personality.
Yes.
Ideal alignment is probably as a tweener, as despite leading the NWO type Bullet Club faction in New Japan, his cool factor makes him an incredibly easy figure to rally behind. So he used to be the leader of the Bullet Club.
So that's the leader. Yes,
they took the leader from the group, and then that's why they added AJ Styles. So I definitely think it can work. It's kind of like same characters they're using already.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't introduced the paint yet in NXT. I think they're probably telling him you need to wait.
Of course.
If they do that, because they would not have brought it
right
up.
now they're teasing him.
Yes.
And who?
I'm assuming you're talking about his tag team partner.
Yes.
Hot Tommy.
Going after the tag team titles. Let them be tag team champions for a while.
But what I also read is that Finn has said that he does not, and part of his agreement, part of his deal when they signed him, was that he was not going to spend very much time in NXT.
And I don't see him. I think after WrestleMania 31, he'll be brought up to the main roster.
And I'm okay with not spending much time in there, but guess what? You got to graduate from Dusty Rhodes School of Driving first.
Mm-hmm.
Because there might be times where you're going to have to drive, even if you're carpooling. You can't let you can't let 1 or 2 people. There's 4 of y'all in there. You got to swap it up. Let other people drive. So he needs to graduate from that school of driving, and then bring him up from there.
I believe after WrestleMania he'll be.
I would be totally okay with that. But like I said, they're holding off on the paint. But here's the thing: if they didn't want him to do the paint, they wouldn't have brought it up. I was just watching an interview that Renee Young did with him right when he started up, right when they said, hey, you're here, he's here. So let's do a first interview with him. He's talking about how great it was to be there, how it's been a long road, and he's finally there. And she said, are we going to see any paint? If they were not going to ever do the paint, she would have been instructed to not bring it up.
That's true.
They're not going to bring something up if they're not going to use it.
No.
So in time, there will be they may be working on designs right now while he's NXT of stuff they can use that they won't get in trouble with trademarks. They could be working with that right now.
Yeah, definitely, or getting it where they can, Yeah. Use your paint, kind of face off this character here, but not going to be rid of this character here. So.
And plus, I saw a video where the woman was doing all the paint and everything.
Right.
So obviously, the paint's on his back. He ain't doing his own paint.
No.
So they may be looking at, will she be the one they hire to do it? Do they already have someone there that can do it? Will they need to hire someone different? As well as that paint is probably not the cheapest in the world because it's not like the Jeff Hardy paint. No. And it's not like the Goldust and Stardust paint. That kind of paint comes right off. Like the Sting paint. It'll rub off pretty easily.
Right.
His body paint don't come off that easy.
No.
So
it'll be something to see. And I believe use him like that. Shadows here. Showing the ring. Lights go out. Lights come on. Or just the spotlight. He's in the ring. Spotlight goes out. When he comes back, he's gone. He's in his paint. You're going, who the hell is that?
Or they could even do one of these things where someone's doing an interview and it's dark in the background, and all of a sudden you see a shadow, like almost just a face come by. Or you know how they have the mood lighting they do for the interviews and stuff, where they just put lighting in places.
Yes.
You could see a shadow run by the wall. You don't see the person. You just see a shadow of the person. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing could add to the mystique of it. And then when, how they used to do the bloodbaths with Gangrel and them, how they turn the lights off, turn it back on, there was blood. They could turn it off, the guy will be down, turn it back on, the guy's gone.
Or, you're good at painting. How about painting him into the background?
Like on a wall?
Yes.
Well, I used to use like...
And the people do the interview, they walk off, and then he moves.
That'd be cool. They did that on Dumb and Dumber, the newest movie.
Oh, Lord.
They did.
They did.
They had a guy painted up, that Rob Riggle guy that's the funny dude in all the new movies now. They had him
it's a movie report now, folks.
Movie report. He was painted up against a snack machine, and he had the snack machine look. The exact stuff that was in the snack machine. They painted him up, and there was no way to tell that he was sitting there. And then all of a sudden, somebody was moving, and he come up right behind him and knocked him out. That was pretty funny.
That's funny. And they could use it.
They could use something like that. He could be painted like blue, like a wall or something like that. And his eyes be closed, and all of a sudden when they walk by, his eyes open, and he keeps walking with them. How hilarious.
They could do that for a few weeks.
They could, and then when the person turns around, he's back up against the wall.
Yes.
And you never knew. How funny.
Well, now let's get to number one.
Number one.
The one that when he got signed, people were, yes.
They were so excited, but they also said, lose weight, sir. But apparently he's lost some weight because they're debuting him in NXT.
Yes. Last Thursday was a shock when they showed that video.
The shock heard around the world.
They are ready.
They are ready.
And they didn't mention it when they come back. So.
Kind of like, it's almost like the video is shown on the screen, but not shown to the commentator.
Right, yeah.
Gotcha.
Which they need to start doing that sometimes. They mention it, hello. They didn't give a name.
No name. We know what his name is, though.
All he did, he said a few words, and then they showed the
So they
date.
did have him talk. Very nice.
So.
He's the former Kevin Steen, now in
NXT.
Tribute to Owen Hart and his son, Owen, who is named after Owen Hart. He will now be Kevin Owens.
Which I love that.
And it sounds like an actual name, which is great. The thing is, I love how they're letting these guys come up with their names. Kevin Steen is the one that came up with Kevin Owens. Finn was the one that came up with Finn. Tommy was the one that came up with a Tommy. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just, oh, you're the ringmaster. Go with it. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
They come together with creative and they said, look, here's some of my ideas. That's the best way to do it. Pull off the stuff.
If you think of your name, you're going to be more comfortable with it and want to do great things with it. They give you a crap name, you're like, can't work with this piece of crap name.
Right. Exactly.
So I like that. And that's
Icy Dagger.
And maybe that's like what Hunter's doing.
I hope he is.
So.
And they're more reality-based names. It's not like goofy names.
And Kevin Owens is fine. It's Kevin. You know his name's Kevin.
Exactly.
So.
They at least went with the first name. They didn't change it altogether.
They didn't change it altogether.
So that works. He's one of the independent cult heroes. He was just
and when Bryan Danielson, they kind of switched it around.
They just swapped the name.
And they kind of kept it. I mean, that helps. I still don't know. I'd like to know what kind of deal CM Punk had.
Right, he kept his name. He did keep his name.
Yes.
And he's allowed to keep his name now. So he had a great
deal,
deal, apparently.
Great deal, yes.
Even though they didn't really see nothing in him. How funny is that? That Heyman was the one that saw something in him, and they just said, get rid of him. They actually said to fire him. Why would you sign someone and let them keep their name if you were going to fire him anyway? But Sting is perhaps the wrestler with the most potential to make an immediate mark on the WWE landscape. The man was absolutely revered towards the end of his run in Ring of Honor and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Such was his impact on his unsettling charisma and ability in the ring. Just as WWE drew inspiration, slightly copied from Ring of Honor's Summer of Punk storyline for their own 2011 version, they would do well to lift elements from Sting's last run of the company as well, building on real-life tensions between Sting and then Ring of Honor booker Jim Cornette. The company pushed a huge worked shoot angle in which the Canadian was frozen out of the promotion and banned from its arena. His name was wiped from their website, replaced with XXXX, not Triple X.
No, X's, yes.
In its previous match reports, and his attempts to return via the stands were met with a heavy security presence and massive crowd reactions. In similar vein, Sting could be marketed as a wrestler whom the WWE refused to call up to the main roster, potentially because he was too dangerous, but it is determined to crash shows away. He could... Anyway, there you go.
Away. Yeah, they'll crash him away.
Crash him away! He could interfere in a larger and larger matches, wreaking mayhem.
I think it would work.
Taking off, I got a WWE update there. Taking off through the crowd before being caught, all while the announcers and other wrestlers do their best to treat it like a shoot. It's a difficult plan, but if executed properly, it could propel Sting straight to the main event territory, especially in the hands of an incredible, capable wrestler such as himself. Here's the way to do that. You have him on NXT. You build him up, build him up, build him up. Let him wrestle on NXT for quite a while, but let him injure some of the wrestlers, and then finally William Regal comes to him and says, look, I've always been a big fan of you. I'm the one that pulled to get you in this company.
I mean,
but you're being too dangerous. Play
off real life. I mean, fans love that.
Yeah, but you're being too dangerous, and Regal suspends him. Okay?
Okay.
Then he could interfere. He could come in and interfere in NXT, and then Triple H could be in the backstage area and look at William Regal and says, look, I know he's your buddy. I know that you enjoy his work, but where he's too dangerous, you need to fire him. Fire him from NXT, and then have him start showing up, like they said, running in, attacking people, and running out before he gets caught.
Yeah.
Because you could do the whole firing. Take his name off the daggone website, take his picture off of everything, do a whole, we would like to wish him well in his future endeavors.
I know.
Let him show up at indie events just to keep it moving.
They ain't going that route.
They did it with CM Punk for a week.
Yeah, that was a problem for a week. That should have run longer.
Exactly. Because it already started. Look at that.
Almost.
Pre-show crap.
But, you're right.
It could work.
I mean, drag it out a little bit.
Drag it out. It's very slow motion there. It's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird.
That's where I was there, though. How cool is that? That was Miami.
Well, that's it for our NXT, how they could debut in the WWE.
Well, dadgum, we got some volume on that, sucker.
We did.
We don't want to get in trouble by having WWE stuff being announced over here.
It was low.
Intellectual property. But those were the 8 storylines for NXT Superstars debuting in the WWE, and a lot of those...
There's your boy.
No, he's not. Stardust? What? Stardust is there? Those
are have any outfit, he said.
I know, I'm ready to see it. I was there, right there in that corner. See that corner right there? That was me.
There's your boy again.
No. That's my boy. That's my boy. That's my boy. That's my boy.
You're a little behind there, okay, did you just point to David Otunga? Which one's he in the thing anyway?
Thank you. Take him off.
I know why, because who he's married to. We didn't say that before already.
That's right. But we hope you enjoyed these last few weeks talking about a lot of them being big indie names, too.
Oh, yes.
I love that.
And the future. This is the future.
So remember these storylines. Go back and watch these videos, and maybe when they put these guys on the main roster, we'll repost these segments to see how close it was to how they actually did it.
That's true.
People are filing in right now. Survivor Series.
And we'll be back for
See?
2 more.
A lot of empty seats.
That's early.
Booker T, Alex Riley, Paul Heyman,
Oh, we missed somebody.
and Renee Young on the panel right now.
I thought, I got some bad news for you. Supposed to be on the panel.
They'll probably take Heyman off halfway through and put Bad News Barrett on there.
Well, we got 2 more on our big 10 reason, the Montreal Screwjob, which was when we started with number 10. That was enough to make you
number
believe
10 was way
that
more
it's
than
a Screwjob.
That's true. We're going to be talking about number 4 and number 3. It's going to be huge. So please come back, find out more about the Montreal Screwjob, more evidence that it was a huge work.
The biggest work in the history of professional wrestling.
Hey, that guy who couldn't make it as a wrestler because John Cena picked on him. Well, quit picking on me, boy.
That's not good.
It's not good, but he's doing well in his commentary role. That's Alex Riley, people.
Yes, if you didn't know who it was, it's Alex Riley.
Be looking out for him in the future. The next Michael Cole.
That's not good. And we'll be right back,
Not
folks.
good. Michael Cole's been in the company for 20 years. That's a good thing.
Yeah, but...
Get rid of Michael Cole, but, you know.
Right back for part 5. You done with part 4?
I am.
Okay, part 5 coming up, folks. Right here on YouTube. That's Paul Heyman.
See you later. Paul Heyman talking. We'll see y'all
I'm
later.
saying, y'all need to go away.
Get out of here.
See you part 5.
Get out of here.
Don't know how long it's going to be.
Gobble, 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 gobble. It's Thanksgiving Day, gobble, gobble.